before that, we have our next guests on the show. Some of these oil marketing companies actually have been in focus, so BPCL should come up for you. Mr. S. Varadarajan has been named the new chairman of BPCL a couple of months ago, so he joins us now to talk about the outlook for the company and the industry as a whole as well. Mr. Varadarajan, good morning and thanks for being with us on the show. This is the last trading day of the year, so we're speaking to a lot of companies about the industry outlook for 2014, and many of the oil marketing companies in fact have been rising on hopes of a diesel price hike as we head into the new year, as well as a new subsidy sharing mechanism that could be outlined. Sir, first up on the diesel price hike issue, given that it is an election year, how hopeful are you, and what could the the order be? Do you think that 50 paise regime will continue, or do you expect it to be higher?
Okay, very good morning to all of you. I think over the past 1 year, roughly 11 months, we have had these price increases based on the policy framework of the government, and we have been pushing up the price by approximately around 50 paise a month over the 11 months period. And going forward, as per the current policy statement, we do hope that we will be allowed to pass through these increases over the next year also as part of the larger deregulation for diesel.
Okay, Mr. Varadarajan, good morning. We had an exclusive chat with the finance minister just yesterday, and one of the things he mentioned was that some of the Congress chief ministers had mentioned that probably they lost the urban vote because of the subsidy being taken off on LPG and diesel, more LPG. There were two of them who suggested that the LPG cap should be raised to 12. Now, if that indeed were to happen, how would that impact your stock?
So as far as we are concerned, it would have an impact on the customer pricing if instead of 9 cylinders they would get almost 12 cylinders at the subsidized price. And as far as we are concerned, for the last couple of years we have been getting 100% compensation from the government for all the 3 control products, which is HSD, kerosene and LPG for domestic. So it's a question of the time lag by which the money comes in as far as the subsidy payments from the government and the upstream is concerned. But for us at the bottom line level, it clearly would not have any implication with 100% compensation kicking in.
Okay, Mr. Varadarajan, it's a new year ahead and you are in a sense a new man at the top. Will you be looking forward to 2014 to monetize some of your upstream assets?
Clearly we have had some major success in Mozambique, which has been disclosed, and Brazil is also showing a lot of promise at the current stage. For us, I think it's a long-term aspiration to become a truly integrated energy player, and Mozambique and Brazil paved the way for our integration into the upstream revenues, and hence monetization for us means remaining invested through the development space. And probably in the next 4 to 5 years, we would see the monetization happen through sales of both gas and oil from these blocks.
Okay. What about the situation as far as under-recoveries are concerned, Mr. Varadarajan? Where do they stand as of now for both diesel and kerosene?
Diesel, the current under-recovery is around 9.5 rupees a litre. Kerosene, it has been around 36-37 rupees a litre. And as far as LPG is concerned, it has jumped up quite drastically now for December, because the LPG prices in the international markets have gone up by almost around $200 to $50. So the subsidy, which was around 500, 525 per cylinder, has gone up to almost around 700 plus a cylinder at the current rates. But this normally happens, LPG prices do go up in the winter months, and then it settles back once again by February or March. That's the trend.
Okay. What is the outlook as far as refining margins are concerned? Because a couple of analysts have forecasted that, by the end of FY14, gross refining margins could be at around $4.50 a barrel, while in FY15 it could slip to around $4 a barrel. So there is basically a bearish outlook that some analysts have. What would your outlook be for refining margins as we head into the new year?
I think our outlook would be fairly stable GRMs, and especially in our case, if you notice, for the past 6 quarters, we have been having GRMs which average around $4 to $4.50 a barrel. And with the current spreads, there are reports which suggest that the crude prices could actually soften, and there are predictions that it may come down to closer to $100 a barrel. Based on this, if the spreads remain more or less in sync, I think we would still see GRMs ranging in the region of around $4 to $4.5 a barrel. So I think it would remain flat. There are very few new capacities coming up in the region, and there are going to be closures because of the quality constraints which are going to be there. So all in all, with demand remaining where it is, I think the GRMs should be fairly stable, somewhere in the region of around $4.5 a barrel.
Okay, Mr. Varadarajan, I'm going to ask you 3 questions, rat-a-tat, all of which you are in the money, and so I guess you'll be glad to answer them in keeping with the party spirit. First up, what is the current value of your upstream assets?
Very difficult to say, because we know that there is a 35 to 65
It's a lot of money,
TCF
but you have some number.
It's very, I mean, most of the analysts place it as out of my 350 rupees, they place almost around between 120 to 180 per share for the upstream, but it's very difficult for me to put a number. It's there for everyone to see.
Okay, but would you veer towards 120 or 180?
Lata, it would be very difficult for me to put a number, because the Mozambique data is it's only the resources which have been disclosed.
Okay.
And Brazil, even the resources have still not been disclosed. Okay. So it would be premature for me to put a value at this point in time.
Question number 2, how much profit are you making on? Okay. Yeah, go ahead, sir, sorry.
But Mozambique at least, Mozambique at least the valuations are there, because for a 10% stake which Videocon has entered into a transaction, they have valued it at close to around $2.5 billion. And till date we have spent on Mozambique close to around 350 to 400 million US. So that's a directional figure as to what the value as far as the Mozambique asset is concerned.
Okay, question number 2, what's your profit on per litre of petrol?
Petrol varies between 1.6 rupees a litre to 1.75 a litre. These are the gross margins before expenditures being charged off. So net of expenses, it would be varying between 600 to 750 rupees KL.
Okay, and finally, will you gift yourself a New Year gift today by charging us 50 paise more on diesel?
Well, it's a policy framework, and if you take it as a gift, you'll be very happy, because there will be more gifts to follow thereafter based on the policy front. But I think the prices do have to reflect market realities, and that's the way the whole reform process is moving ahead. And it's something which we need to be prepared in the larger interest of the economy.
No, I said it's a gift to yourself, yes. So it is coming later today.
Yeah, we'll await the final decision, which we would all come to know by the end of the day.
All right. Thanks so much, Mr. Varadarajan, for joining us and giving us clarity on all of that. It's a gift for them, but not a gift for us, definitely.
Have a great 2014 anyways, Mr. Varadarajan. Thank you very much for joining us.